Hey yo, welcome to this special edition of Hey Yo with D Shelton. I'm the host of this show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, Del Rico Shelton. This is going to be a good little mini pod. As always, this podcast is sponsored by Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, which is the best cake pops and cupcakes in the DMV area. They are a small based business out of Southern Maryland. You can reach them and see their inventory at row underscore sweets underscore LLC on Facebook and Instagram. You can also reach them at rollsweetsllc at gmail.com. And as normal, as you see with the good old graphics, Riverside.fm is providing the platform for me to get to you all through Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. Check them out. That was a good ass game. For the first time in a while, the Washington Commanders win on Monday night. If I recall, the spread had Cincinnati winning by 6, if you're a betting person. Well, that ain't happened. So let me get this out the way. Washington Commanders. His sucky ass name. But anywho, that was a good game. Um, It actually pretty was. I was entertained. Unlike the other Monday night game, which the Bills destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars 47-10. I'm not even going to get into that game. Catch that on Sports Center if you really want to be real. Catch that on NFL Network, FS1. There's no need of even talking about it. All right. But as always, when it comes to football season, I got to cover my Dallas Cowboys. And since I live in the city of Washington, D.C., I have to do the Washington Commanders. And as normal, when my Cowboys lose, I get bombarded with Washington Commanders talk. And like I said, I'm a fair man. I'm being impartial. Washington Commanders played an excellent ball game. I keep telling y'all, Dan Quinn is the man for the job. You have to give him time. I've openly stated I like Jayden Daniels. I've been said it. I said it before the season started. I said it during week 1. I said it during week 2. And I'm going to say it again. Now, if you don't know, if you don't believe me, just go back to listen to Hey Yo with D Shelton. You're going to see when I talk about the Commanders, it's not all vile. I'm going to be an honest journalist, sports journalist, sports fan, football fan, NFL fan, whatever you want to say. I'm going to be fair. Jayden Daniels played a hell of a game. Now, there's some questionable things I want to know about Cincinnati, but and why does Cincinnati always start off slow? The Bengals now fall to 0-3. They have lost their first 2 home games as well. The Washington Commanders are actually, technically speaking, if I recall correctly, they're actually first place by technicality in NFC East. They're 2-1. Let me get to these stats real quick before I get in depth. As for the passing, right? Jayden Daniels was 21 of 23 for 254 yards. His average completion was 11 yards a pop. 2 touchdowns. The first touchdown actually was to his offensive tackle. Now that's going to be interesting who gets that ball. I'm just saying. He was sacked twice. He had almost a perfect passer rating of 141.7. Excuse me. His counterpart, Cool Joe Burrow, 29 of 38 for 324 yards. His average per completion was 8.5. 3 touchdowns. 2 to Jamal Chase. No picks. He was sacked twice. Oh, by the way, Jay Daniels also sacked twice. Joe Burrows was 127.5. This was a game of ebb and flows, but it was one of those type of games that I had the feeling once Washington took the lead in the second quarter, they weren't going to give that back the way the game was going. And give me a sec with that. The rushing stats kind of even. Jayden actually led the team in rushing. He had 12 carries for 39 yards. Austin Eckler, 3 carries for 35 yards. Brian Robinson Jr., 16 for 33. Jeremy McNichols, I don't even remember him carrying the ball, but it was 1 for 1. Whereas, and they, as a total, 108 yards for the Washington Commanders. As for Cincinnati, they rushed, for 124 yards. Chase Brown, 7 carries for 62 yards. Zach Moss, 12 for 58. Joe Burrows ran 1 time for 4. That was it. Kind of sort of even. Here's what we're getting at. We finally had a Scary Terry McLaurin sighting. 4 catches for 100 yards even, and the game, to me, actually the game-winning touchdown to put them out to the insurmountable lead. Beautiful throw by Jayden Daniels. Beautiful. They blitzed. Cincinnati blitzed number 29, who pretty much was getting torched. Got hit with a double move as a dude that played cornerback once upon a time ago. The one thing I was always taught, if I'm the defense coordinator and I'm calling a zero blitz, people coming, I cannot fall for a double move. I cannot get caught peeking. And if the football comes my direction, either I got to knock it down or say the hell with it, just tackle the receiver. Don't make a bad situation worse. He bit on the double move and the ball just dropped in Scary Terry's hands. Also, Luke McCaffrey, three catches, 44 yards. Zach Ertz, who had some big catches. For some reason, Zach was open a lot. Every time that Jayden needed a first down, Zach was the man he was looking for. Zach Ertz, 5 catches, 38 yards. It doesn't seem like much, but it's crucial because every time there was a third down, Zach Ertz somehow was wide open. All right. Noah Brown, former Cowboy, had some big catches of one crucial third down as well. He had 3 catches for 29 yards. You see where I'm getting at? Jayden Daniels is giving the ball to whoever the hell is open. Similar to what he did at LSU when he won the Heisman last year. I keep telling y'all, Washington, I hate to say it, I got to deal with this young man for a decade. But you have yourself a quarterback as long as you don't ruin him. Cliff Kingsbury, I believe, is your offense coordinator. He called an excellent game. De'Ami Brown, 2 catches again for 16 yards. Brian Robinson and Trent Scott both caught passes. But here's on the flip side with the Bengals. Jamal Chase, 6 catches, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. The tied end, Andrea, I can't even say his last name, just saw him number 80. He had 5 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Another tight end, Mike Gesicki, 4 catches, 47 yards. T. Higgins, his first game back, 3 catches, 39 yards. And a blatant pass interference on a 2-point conversion that should have been called. But again, it's the Bengals. Refs don't like the Bengals for whatever reason. Zach Moss, 5 for 39. And I don't care about the others, right? Primarily, Joe was spreading the ball around. Now, Zach Ertz Here's where we're getting at when it comes to moments. Zach Ertz catches the ball, pause, and gets shellacked, fumbles. It was a tight end screen, but for some reason, the offensive lineman, I can't remember who, I want to say it was 79 for Washington, comes out of nowhere and saves the day because momentum was all on Cincinnati. Said when he recovered that. You know what happens after that during that drive? Like this, remember when I said about Scary Terry and Jayden just dropped it in the bucket for him? It was during that drive. Moments, ladies and gentlemen, moments. Well, on the flip side, the Bengals missed a field goal in the first half. Now you're chasing points. And then the 2-point conversion. That should have been called pass interference. I want to say the Washington defender's name was Chin, but that's 5 points. What did Cincinnati lose by? 5. Moments, ladies and gentlemen. Moments. Now, Jayden Daniels, right now, in my opinion, oh, by the way, he still hasn't thrown a pick. He still hasn't thrown, I'm sorry, he hasn't fumbled the ball. At least it hasn't gotten away from him. I think he did fumble once, but it was recovered. So you have a quarterback who hasn't turned the ball over at all. Something Washington has not had in a very long time. All for any young quarterback, just don't turn the ball over. Do not put your team in harm's way. I'm talking to all young quarterbacks. Sometimes you got to try to make a play. But Jayden Daniels exudes confidence. He knows what he's doing. He's not putting the ball in harm's way. I do not recall him in this game throwing a bad pass. Hell, like I said, it was 21 for 23. If I'm doing my math, that's like a 91% completion rate, which may be a record for a rookie quarterback. This is where I'm blaming Cincinnati's defense coordinator on this one. Now, I understand that the 2 defensive tackles for Cincinnati were hurt. I understand that you're pretty much picking guys off the street at this point. But damn, he is a rookie. I have never seen someone play coverage so much. And the one time you did blitz, it's a time where you shouldn't have. And that's where Jayden dropped it in the bucket to Scary Terry. But I don't understand defense coordinators when it comes to rookies. If you don't have constant pressure on a rookie quarterback, you're going to get beat because it's pitch and catch for them. You got to make them speed their process up. This is when rookies either get punch drunk or turnover prone. You speed them up. Jayden patting the ball. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Oh, drop off. 1 Mississippi. Oh, there's Zach from a 3rd down. Boom. He's picking them apart. If I recall correctly, let me count the receivers that Jayden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers caught a football from Jayden Daniels. 8. Does that look like you putting any real pressure on him? Now, granted, you got 2 sacks. One of them, Hutchinson just came through, beat the tackle, got him. Another time was just a plain Jayden scrambling out, and you can call it a sack. He got clipped up. But overall, I'm not blaming the youngin, because if you not gonna pressure me, cool. And I'm talking, if you doing coverage, can you at least get near a wide receiver or a tight end? I'm talking Cincinnati was leaving dudes wide open. Heck, some high school quarterbacks can hit them throws. But once again, I can't blame the young man. I'm going to take it. Once again, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Oh, damn. I got all day. This is like I was back at LSU. So I don't know what that defensive plan was. I understand, like I said, if you lose your 2 defensive tackles, I'm going to force you to do something. You can't be afraid of his legs that quick. This is his 3rd game. Now, granted, yeah, he led the team in rushing, ran 12 times. But I would say, to be honest, 8 of them were scrambles. He just got out the pocket because, once again, if you're playing coverage and at that point, I'm just going to take off and let me get these 4 or 5 yards, which is smart on his part. You can tell that Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn are coaching this young man up. And once again, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, I got to see this kid for a decade. He's not taking any real shots yet. And well, the last game he did. Not against Cincinnati, but against the Giants. He took a hell of a shot. And he was out the game for like maybe 2 plays, which shows his toughness. But overall, I don't understand what Cincinnati's defensive game plan was, but Jayden Daniels said thank you. And another thing I like, honestly, is that Cliff Kingsbury sped the game up for him. What I mean by that is, I ain't gonna say it was hurry up, but it was up tempo. Something he kind of did at LSU. So overall, good win, Washington. Bad loss, Cincinnati. If I recall, the Commanders now face the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. This one's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be super interesting. Because if Washington plays defense like they did today, yeah, 40 points gonna get put up, because that's something that's alarming. Now, granted, the Cardinals are only 1-2, but they did smack the Rams a couple weeks ago. Remember that, when the Rams beat San Francisco this past weekend. So my warning is this: if it's a shootout, I'll expect Arizona to win that game, because I have confidence that Arizona's defense can make one stop, whereas I will admit Washington defense can't. Remember, the missed field goal and what it should have been pass interference, that's your game, 5 points. But a win is a win. A win is a win. Now, my Dallas Cowboys play on Thursday night, peoples. Thursday night against the New York Football Giants. So, you're going to hear from me Thursday night, more likely Friday morning. And then Washington, you're going to hear my voice again after your game. So, expect some mini pods and more content coming when it comes to football. Like I said, I love this time of year. And speaking of timing, my beloved University of North Carolina Tar Heels started their first practice today. So yeah, this stuff is going to be rolling. Well, overall, good win, Washington. Jayden Daniels is the real deal. He really hasn't been tested yet. Um, if I was to predict the Washington game, because Arizona's at home, I'll give Arizona the nod. But so far in these first 3 weeks, if you're a betting person, the spread don't matter. It don't matter. This already has been a topsy-turvy style season. And what's going to happen is after week 4, I'm going to put my top 7 NFC and my top 7 AFC teams playoff wise. So y'all can get an understanding of my type of power rankings. I don't care about everybody else. I care about the playoff situation. So I hope Washington Commanders, you had a good night. Once again, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cake, pops, and cupcakes in the DMV area. They're a small-based business out of Southern Maryland. You can look them up on Facebook and Instagram on Row_Sweets _LLC, and you can also contact them at rosesweetsllc@gmail.com. As a recap, the Washington Commanders defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 38-33. And once again, I got to check it out. So I'm going to say Jayden Daniels set a record completing 21 out of 23 passes. 21 of 23 passes. I can't believe I got to say it the third time. 21 of 23 passes for 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the most important thing, no fumbles, no picks. All right, Cincinnati, y'all in trouble. Y'all ain't gonna be able to dig y'all way out this one. So with that being said, I'm gonna see y'all Thursday night / Friday morning. As I always say, may Father and the ancestors take care of you, your loved ones, or anybody else you care about. I see y'all when I see y'all. Damn Commanders fans. Peace.